Hey, it's Lily back again with another video. I'm actually outside today getting some lunch at a food cart location. I was like, I thought I'm waiting for my little baton to start vibrating so I can get my pad thai. But today's conversation, I really wanted to talk about frugality or being frugal. And I think a lot of people talk about being frugal and being almost as being scarce, as almost as like getting rid of everything of joy in life. And oh, I gotta go. Sriracha. Hey, cool. I got my food. All right, I got my food. Ooh, so good. I'm gonna give you a quick view how it looks like. Yummy. And I'm also sitting right in front of like the fireplace. The chairs are up right now because it's really early here for lunch, so they haven't sit down. But I'm one of the first few here. Let's see. All right, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about what frugality means to me. And I think a lot of people, when they think of frugality, they think that they're gonna get rid of everything in their life. All the joyness is gonna be spilling out, and that you no longer can spend any money and live a comfortable life. But I don't really believe in that. And so I wanted to share what frugality means to me, or how I see frugal in my life. And how I see it is putting my money towards places that matter to me. A lot of people think that you need to cut off your $5 coffee or stop going out eat so often. But I don't really believe that. I think it's just assorting your money and actually looking at it like, how can I maximize my dollars to make my life much more easier, more fulfilling, and yet I also still can live in a really comfortable lifestyle that I can manage for myself. So there's some things in what I do for frugality might not actually be the same, won't be agreeable for your view or how you would see frugality. For example, I don't drive a very fancy car. A lot of people probably spend money on like a Ferrari, a Mercedes, or I don't know, whatever luxury car you can think about. Some people carry big luxury cars and they can't afford to have it. Like they can't afford to pay for it. And they actually will live easier if they were just to cut that car out and drive somewhere or have a normal car. Like for me, I'm not a big car person. I frankly don't care about cars. I just need something that gets me from point A to point B. I don't even like driving. So that's one way that how I save. I don't update my cars. And I have my car for about 5-7 years, just paid off. It works fine. It's super easy to maintain. Really cheap gas as well. But that's one way to save money. Another thing too that I don't put money in towards is really fancy locations to live in. For example, I live a little more further away from the city because the closer you're in the city, the more expensive it gets most of the time. And so there's some people who are probably that opposite for me, who need location, who needs to be around really nice places to eat, needs to be really close maybe for your work or for good jobs, or you have family, kids. For me, none of that happens for me. I don't have any kids. I don't need to always be near the restaurants. And on top of that, I like live on my own for myself. So for me, I actually have the time and the currency to go and travel to places that I really want to enjoy for like the weekend or so. Actually, I work a lot too, so I work practically 5 to 6 days out of the week. I don't even have time to go out for get dinner at a time with friends in those nice locations. So I don't need to live nearby. I don't think you can hear me any better, and I'm at a coffee shop right now. So, a coffee shop, getting some tea. The music is a bit loud here too, so don't think you'll be able to. I'm out here working for a bit, so I'll probably check another location again. All right, I'm back again. again in my car. And this is probably the best place I can honestly, to be honest, like get the most quietest space around. And so I went to another coffee shop, and that coffee shop was so freaking loud. I do not know what is up with that coffee shop. But one thing that I actually don't spend a lot of money on is groceries. And this is very controversial. Maybe you might agree with this. Maybe it will agree with you or not. But to be honest, I don't buy a lot of groceries. And I actually used to meal prep before, thinking that I was going to save a lot of money, time, and it did at some level, and it didn't at some time either. At some level, it didn't even save me time or money. To be honest, it was quite wasteful. I learned that I just don't like eating leftover food or food that is cold from yesterday. I can't do it. Like, I can't eat the same thing every day sometimes. Well, I can, but it has to be fresh, to be honest. And I used to like meal prep for 3 days or even for a week, and I found out that I wouldn't even eat half of the food. I will eat it for 1 or 2 days and I was done. And I did not like it because the most of the time, because it was not fresh. And I actually grew up making my food every day fresh. And then on top of that, another thing that I actually did to save money and health-wise too is to fast. And a lot of people, this is really controversial maybe too for some people, I don't know, but I don't eat breakfast. Like, I skip a meal. Like, I don't like eating breakfast. I know growing up, I don't know, school systems always told us to eat breakfast, but I hated it. Like, I really hate eating when I didn't really want to. And I think growing up, I always felt like, oh, I need to get breakfast in because it's the most healthiest meal of the day to kickstart your metabolism. I don't even know what the hell lies they used to tell us, but I hate eating when people tell me to eat, and I'm not a constant eater. Like, I eat when I'm hungry. Most of the time I eat like a meal or two a day. I eat very small meals, and I'm extremely very active, and I'm just not interested in consuming a lot of food, and I'm not that hungry all the time. And I think generally eating, like breakfast or eating multiple meals a day, it goes based on an average individual, like you're high in weight, but I'm not an average individual. I'm actually like 4'11", and I weigh like 100 something pounds. Like, I'm actually below average. Like, I'm just a smaller petite person in general, and I don't need to consume that much food to BH. And a lot of people think that's a problem here in the USA, especially. My family, of course, come from a different culture, and we don't consume that much food compared to here. And I don't think we need a lot of food to survive in general either. I think we need most is like really nutritious, well-rounded meals and more liquids, more than anything, like water. So I do drink about like a gallon of water, like at least 2 liters of water. And a lot of people might think, oh, man, that's a lot of water, but I got used to it. That kind of helps me not be as hungry and spend so much money. Another place where I actually save money on is, I think I talked a little bit already about location, cars. Clothing. This is a good one. Back in the day when I was in high school, I believe, I used to have this idea that I have to always be on trend. Like, I always needed the new clothes. I always knew fashion. I always need to upgrade myself. And I decided, it's really exhausting trying to keep up with trends and trying to keep up with trends that don't even like reflect me, to be honest. Like, I'm not the average gal. I'm not the average, I need to sit in the middle for this, like, this is like not working out for me. I'm not the average gal that marketers or businesses are looking for. And so now it's a little more diverse, right? But there's no point for me to keep looking for trends that don't even represent me, that don't even have the same style, the same ethnicities. I don't even know like what I was doing, but I was wasting a lot of money following trends in beauty, especially the beauty industry, makeup, hair, and I think it's great. Like, I honestly do need to get my nails done and stuff like that, but I just kind of thought about like, how can I build a capsule wardrobe, or at least a wardrobe that reflects me and that's comfortable, but also fits me in the most sleekest way, like the most
elegant, the most timeless pieces. And so I'm gonna buy this shirt. Can I wear this shirt 10 times? Like, literally, that's how I think about, like, can I mix this with pants? Can I mix this with skirts? Can I mix this with like leggings? Like, whatever it is. Like, if I was at home, can I wear this at home? Like, I think about like pieces that I can wear all the time, whenever I can, and then multiple times for the seasons. So this was one of my choices. I really love this color, and I think that it looks great with my black jeans. It's great with my skirts. It looks great with like layering and season, and I think it's just bright. It's fun, and I think a lot of people, when they're trying to save money from shopping, think they need to be really, really boring. No, you don't. You do not need to be very boring, to be honest. Like, I would not want to live a life that's boring. I also want to be honest, I'm not a minimalist. So I'm not here to promote like having zero in your apartment, like an empty wall. And then I also not a person to have like their whole apartment where it's like gray or a benji or tan color. What is that? What is that? That monotone color? It's just so boring. It reminds me of hospital vibes. Like, not gonna lie, I'm not trying to be mean. Those who have that vibe, like, not for me. Like, I live a very colorful, dense, really adventurous, creative environment. Like, I really like that space. So whenever I'm in places, I always have a pop of color or something, because it really helps me feel happy and vibrant in my space. And that's just who I am. But I don't think because you're trying to be frugal, you need to live a boring life. A lot of people say since you're not being frugal, you probably have to shop for secondhand or Goodwill stuff. I don't. Like, to be honest, a lot of people think they need to go to like a Goodwill or vintage shop so they can save more money. But to be honest, those vintage shops or those Goodwill shops are so trendy now that you pretty much get the same price if you were to go maybe at like a Nordstrom or Macy's, or I don't know, for me, like going to TJ Maxx, because I don't have to worry things are on sale there. To be honest, it's just good deals there anytime. Another thing too, the way that I save money is that I don't shop on deals anymore. Like, I don't worry about shopping things on deals, because back in the day, I used to be like, oh, it's a deal. Let me buy this. Oh, it's a great price right now. Let me buy this. No, I don't shop on deals. I don't also subscribe to like promotions on my phone. I used to have a junk email actually where it has all my promos for like shopping newsletters and all that, but I don't have those anymore, TBH. Like, I used to actually have it on my phone, and then when I get to the cash register, I don't even pull it out. Like, I don't even pull it out. So I just don't do anymore. Again, I don't shop things on sales. I shop things that are valuable and that I'm going to be using, and that makes me happy. And sometimes those things are a lot more expensive, but I end up being really happy with my purchase, and I do end up buying much more. Another thing that I also stopped buying so often is decor pieces. This is really controversial. Again, a lot of people love decor in their space. I do too. Like, I just talked about how I like my place colorful and enjoyable. But to be honest, there's certain ways that I decor. I decor my life more from like plants. I have a lot of plants. I don't buy plants. I actually propagate them. I buy one plant and I start propagating other things. I get a deep satisfaction growing things and multiplying things just naturally based on what I create. So most of my room is just based on my plants, my trees, and what I have grown myself. And I actually bought in 2 plants in my life, and now I have 42 plants. Another way that I save money and how I save frugal in my life is that I actually join things together, like my trips. So if I'm gonna be driving somewhere, because gas is really expensive, like, let's fucking be real, like, gas is a lot. Especially for me, I live in a little bit further away from the city. And because the cost of living further away outweighs the savings of living close. Anyways, and so I actually book my things to do. Like, if I'm going to go to the gym, I'm also going to go grocery shopping. And then I'm going to do this like all my other errands on that day. I schedule my days hourly and what I want to do for the week. Because I actually, to be honest, money isn't really the most valuable thing of your life time is. So what I do is I actually schedule my whole week, practically the days that I need to go do things and I need to commute and I need to go and actually complete stuff. Another way that I actually save money too might be suitable for people or might not be suitable for everyone, but I actually don't commute to any of my work. The reason why I work remotely, 100% remotely, I have a degree and a field work that I'm in that allows me to work remotely. Like, I thought about this for a very long time before, you know, things went all remote and COVID and all that, is that if there's any ways that I can work and gain skills that are profitable. This is actually not very taught in school or to people these days. That when I was studying in university, I wanted to get a degree that is useful and that could be, you know, those skills that I gain can be transferred to different places. I actually don't accept most work that is not remote, because I know my work can be done remotely, and I also know these skills are transferable and I can use them for so many different places and work. And then it might not be applicable to you, but it could be applicable to you if, one, you want to change your career into a place that's more easy, flexible, more profitable. And then on top of that, if you haven't even decided a career or space you really want to go to, is to consider jobs and roles that have skills that can be transferable, that you can make money off of it, and that you're easy hireable. And on top of that, you're able to remote and live freely a little bit more. I decided to go in this field because, one, I really like it and enjoy it, and it's very natural for me to do. But number two is also the flexibility and the remote opportunity. I did not want to live somewhere that was really expensive. I actually, when I first started working, I did work in person at an office and an agency, and I did not like it. I knew I did not like commuting. I just do not like driving, and I don't like seeing my coworkers every day. I just like going to work, doing my job, and then getting out. Like, I'm that focused. And so I got a job in marketing, and I knew for a fact that that was going to change, that one day we were all going to go remote and people were going to leave going to the office because it was just more easier. And eventually it did. I now have not gone back to the office for maybe 5 years, and it's been the best ever. I decided I wanted to do a remote work too because I save a lot of money and I save a lot of time, and I don't have to live in a city that's really expensive. And so now I can just apply to work everywhere and see if I can get a job from there. I'm actually gonna let you know, if you enter fields like this, it's very competitive. So that's a downfall. So if you're not I wouldn't discourage you to go in if you don't have any experience, but I also would like to remind you that spaces like this are very competitive because everyone around the world is now applying for your work. But you have to be really you have to, one, be good at selling yourself, and then on top of that, have the skills that are applicable for work and jobs. So think of it that way if you're looking for opportunities to, make money.